Welcome to ClubhouseNews.com. You're tuned in to Clubhouse News Weekend for the week ending Saturday, May 28th, 2016. I'm Blaze.
And I'm Skylar. Who wants to be president in the 2016 presidential race? Billionaire businessman and reality star Donald Trump this past week officially clinched the Republican nomination, picking up some previously uncommitted delegates in the state of North Dakota. This put him over the 1,237 delegates needed to lock up the nomination, though it was already a foregone conclusion since all the other Republican candidates, all 16 of them, had already dropped out of the race, suspending their campaigns. Now, Mr. Trump has to play the waiting game, as he is still waiting to see who his Democratic opponent will be. On the Democratic side, things aren't getting any easier for Hillary Clinton, the former First Lady, U.S. Senator, and Secretary of State. This past week, she got some bad news from the State Department, which issued a report saying that Mrs. Clinton shouldn't have used a private email server to conduct official business while she was Secretary of State, and that she wouldn't have not been allowed to do so had she asked. And while her email scandal just won't go away, neither will 71-year-old Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who still refuses to drop out of the race. But as Clubhouse News viewers already know, because of the superdelegates, Democratic Party members that can pick whichever candidate they want, Hillary's lead over Bernie is pretty huge, with Hillary now at 2,309 delegates to Bernie's 1,539. And she needs only 74 more to hit the magic number of 2,383 and finally win the Democratic nomination. And with the California primary and its 480 delegates at stake on June 7th, Hillary is hoping she can finally stop feeling the burn and move on to the finals against Donald J. Trump.
America should be for everyone, not just a handful of millionaires and billionaires.
President Obama, the first U.S. president to visit the city, told an audience that included survivors of America's atomic bombing in 1945 that technology as devastating as nuclear arms demands a moral revolution. So now, more than 70 years after the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing more than 200,000 people, the only use of nuclear weapons in the history of our planet, thousands of Japanese lined the streets of Hiroshima hoping to catch a glimpse of President Obama. 71 years ago, on a bright, cloudless morning, death fell from the sky and the world was changed, Mr. Obama said in the opening of his speech at the memorial. Technological progress without an equivalent progress in human institutions can doom us, Mr. Obama said, adding that such technology requires a moral revolution as well.
The world was forever changed here. But today, the children of this city will go through their day in peace.
This past Monday, May 30th, was Memorial Day, which honors American troops in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines who have made the ultimate sacrifice in defending our great nation and its freedoms. The tradition of celebrating our fallen heroes began a few years after the American Civil War, which ended in spring 1865 when General Robert E. Lee surrendered the last major Confederate army to Ulysses S. Grant, who later became our 18th president. 3 years after the end of the Civil War, in which 620,000 American men died fighting over slavery, the head of an organization of Union veterans established Decoration Day to decorate military graves with flowers. The first major holiday observance was held at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. in 1868. And over the decades since, Memorial Day evolved into a national holiday, with countless flags placed each year on the 260,000 graves at Arlington. I know a lot of you may confuse Memorial Day and Veterans Day, but there is one very important difference. Unlike Veterans Day, which honors all military veterans, Memorial Day focuses on those who have made the ultimate sacrifice and are no longer living. So, happy Memorial Day to all those in our armed forces and their families, and thank you for all you do to keep us safe.